Here are the top 10 reasons why LeBron James is not Michael Jordan. Reason number 1. LeBron James is playing in the softest era of basketball. I've been watching the NBA for a long time, and this era is the weakest I've ever seen. When I watch a game, it's pretty brutal. Trying to sit through an entire game is frustrating. Players are always getting called for the slightest contact. What's even more annoying is seeing a player get called for a flagrant when in the quote-unquote old days, it would be considered a common foul. MJ was putting up these amazing numbers in a time where if you drove down the lane, 9 out of 10 times you'd be on your back staring at the arena lights. Reason number 2. NBA Finals record. MJ is 6-0 in the finals, and LeBron on the other hand is 3-4, and you could make the case he should be 2-5. MJ dominated the NBA Finals, each series ending in 6 games or less, as in MJ has never seen a Game 7 in the NBA Finals. King James, on the other hand, has gone to the finals 7 times, in a weak-ass Eastern Conference, by the way. And 2 out of 3 times he's won the title, he's barely won the title. His first title was won in 5 games during the lockout year, so congrats there. But his second title required a man nicknamed Jesus, literally Jesus, saving the Miami Heat in Game 6 of the finals when it seemed like the series was over. Take a look.
Should the Spurs foul? Should Miami go for the 3 right away?
Just attack the basket.
James catches, puts up a 3. Won't go. Rebound Bosh. Back out to Allen. His 3-pointer. Bang! Tie game with 5 seconds remaining. Spurs do not have...
His latest title required the team coming back from a 3-1 deficit. And as I said earlier, if this was the old days, I don't know if the land would be celebrating the end of the curse. Reason number 3. LeBron has had better teammates on his title teams than MJ ever did. MJ has always had Scottie Pippen with him, who's a great player. But LeBron has had D. Wade and Chris Bosh for 4 years and only got 2 titles out of it. If you ask me, that's a bit of an underachievement. With his 3rd title, LeBron's team was loaded with a top 5 guard in the league, who I think will be a Hall of Famer at some point, barring injury, and Kevin Love, who was supposed to play the part of Chris Bosh in this sequel to LeBron James and his Big 3. But Mr. Love didn't play the part too well. MJ has never had the offensive weapons LeBron James has had, and you're crazy if you think otherwise. Reason number 4. Jordan accomplished more in less time. I heard ESPN talk about how LeBron is the same age as MJ was at 31, and at that time MJ had 3 rings and so does LeBron. Plus LeBron has 4 MVPs compared to MJ's 3 MVPs at the time. Only problem is LeBron has had 4 more years in his career compared to MJ at this point. MJ came out of college and LeBron came out of high school. LeBron has played 13 seasons to get to his 3 rings and 4 MVPs, while MJ played 9 seasons to get to his 3 rings and 3 MVPs. Not to mention at age 31, MJ was retired at the time, trying to jump into baseball. Adding to all this is the fact that MJ missed almost an entire season because of a broken leg people seem to forgot about. He actually accomplished all this in 8 seasons. Overall, not counting the year which he broke his leg, MJ played 12 seasons with the Bulls and won 6 titles and 5 MVPs. LeBron has played 13 seasons and has won 3 rings and 4 MVPs. It's a little different, ain't it? Reason number 5. The numbers speak for itself. When you look at MJ and LeBron's stats year by year, Michael's outscored LeBron on a regular basis and averaged more steals. LeBron is a better passer than MJ, and he gets more rebounds because he plays forward. But other than that, MJ was a better player than LeBron. As I already mentioned, MJ played in a tougher era, so it was harder for him to get those numbers. If LeBron played in Jordan's era, he'd still be great, but I don't know how great he really would be. Reason number 6. MJ was a killer on the court, and LeBron is no killer. You've heard the stories. MJ was an assassin on the court. If you trash talk MJ, you'd be in for a long night. Someone trash talk LeBron, you might actually fold under the pressure. Maybe the reason why a lot of NBA fans considered Kobe Bryant the heir to the throne after MJ retired, rather than LeBron, was because Kobe was cut from the same cloth as MJ was. Not only that, but when the game is on the line, most people know who's taking the last shot on a last-second shot with a Jordan-led team versus a team led by LeBron. Looking back at LeBron's past playoff performances, LeBron usually defers to a D. Wade, Ray Allen, or most recently a Kyrie Irving for the last shot.
Irving and Curry, one-on-one. Irving puts it up. It's good! Kyrie Irving from downtown! And the Cavaliers by 3.
Reason number 7. MJ left the game in his prime. After winning his third NBA title, Jordan was 30 years old at the time. He decided to retire in his prime after his father was murdered. Michael left for 2 years and came back right before the playoffs in 1995. Had Jordan not been absent during those 2 years, he may have won another 2 titles. To add to that, there are reports that MJ did not want to retire in 1998, but was forced to because of the ultimatum he made to Bulls management that if Phil Jackson was fired, he would retire.
When the team was broken up in 1998, I wasn't ready to retire, in all honesty, because I felt like we still could compete and still win, But the nature of the business changed, from the Bulls standpoint, from Phil's standpoint, from Dennis and from Scotty, and here I am. I was just there to pick up the pieces and make my decision to either stay in or rebuild or go somewhere else.
If that team had been able to stay together, was your eye on Bill Russell's number? I mean, we talk about Tiger and Jack Nicklaus and majors, championships. The only guy ahead of you out there really is Bill Russell. Did you think about that?
Well, you take it year by year. I do believe we could have won 7. I don't want to take anything from David Robinson and those guys in his shortened year in '99. But I felt like we still had a good chance if we would have kept the team together. Now, that was a big decision from the Bulls standpoint. We'll never know, but it's great for thinking, great for conversation, great for debating. But in my mind, I really believe that we could have won 7. And if we won 7, then, the competitive nature would have been, let's keep going. Let's get to 8, let's get to 9, until someone beat us, until I actually lose in the finals, which it never happened. I think we could have. I like to see us stay together.
For some odd reason, the Bulls decided to fire Phil Jackson. MJ retired and the Bulls fell apart after winning the 6th title. Had MJ played the entire decade of the 90s, we could be talking about a 9-time champ rather than 6, but we'll never know. Reason number 8. Staying with one team versus switching teams. Obviously, LeBron never stayed with the Cavs his entire career, even though Cleveland acts like he never left. Meanwhile, MJ never left the Bulls. He understood the challenge of winning a title with a team that was committed to him, building around him. Staying with one team and winning titles with that team makes you a god in that city. You can make the case that LeBron is a god in Cleveland. But it still would have been nice if that letter never happened, right? Oh yeah, and the decision also. Remember that? LeBron came across pretty arrogant, but all is forgotten in the land right now. MJ even spoke about the idea of teaming up with elite talent in the 90s and said it would have never happened.
It's no way that, just hindsight, I would have never, called up Larry, called up Magic and said, hey, let's get together and play on one team.
Reason number 9. MJ was in the dunk contest multiple times. LeBron was never in it. This may not be a big deal nowadays, seeing that LeBron is in his 30s now, but at the time LeBron came into the league, it was a very big deal. LeBron would tease us every year, saying next year would be the year. He even announced it one year that he would finally do it, and when the time came, he acted as if he never said a word. MJ, on the other hand, competed in multiple dunk contests and won 2 of them. He had epic battles with Dominique Wilkins and performed epic dunks that kids wanted to try in their backyard the next day. And finally, reason number 10. It's got to be the shoes, right? This has nothing to do with basketball, but have you seen the lines at sneaker stores when a new Jordan drops? A new colorway for an old retro drops? Or some high-fashion designers adding to the designs nowadays? Meanwhile, LeBron's kicks are not exactly fire. In all honesty, they've been quite ugly. Like Spike said, it's got to be the shoes. So that's it. That's my top 10. Disagree with me? Let the debate begin in the comments below. And if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. And subscribe if you want. It'd be cool. Just saying. This has been a basketball public service announcement, and I'm out. Peace.
These is facts, bruh.